Hello and welcome. Today we are going to discuss non-probability sampling methods, techniques, or strategies. Last time we have seen probability sampling techniques such as simple random sampling, systematic sampling, stratified sampling, and the like, cluster sampling, multi-stage sampling strategies. For today, we'll see these non-probability sampling methods or techniques. Uh, uh, We'll start to discuss what non-probability sampling technique is. First, non-probability sampling technique or methods or strategies uh, do not employ simple random sampling approach. So non-probability sampling technique is based on, for instance, using non this random selection, non-random selection. So the main, the common characteristics of non-probability sampling method is they do not use simple random sampling, and the researcher is unable to assign participants into groups. He cannot also select participants from the population using simple random sampling, like for instance, random table number using sampling frame or lottery method. So our agenda for today is to discuss the types of non-probability sampling. This accidental sampling, haphazard sampling, or systematic methods by which researchers use their judgments. For instance, in the case of judgment sampling, so we'll see this accidental sampling or haphazard sampling or convenient sampling. Also, this judgment sampling, snowball sampling. We'll see different types of these non-probability sampling techniques. We'll start from this convenient sampling. Convenient sampling can also be called haphazard sampling, accidental sampling, opportunity sampling። እነዚህ ተመሳሳይ ናቸው። የተለያዩ መጽሐፎች የተለያየ ስም ይሰጧቸዋል። Convenient sampling is a sample taken from a group you have easy access to. You take the sample because it is comfortable for you. The convenient group you are testing should not be fundamentally different in theory, but in practice it is different, and it should be different because you are not using simple random sampling or sampling frame. An example is a large group of college students from your local college, for instance. This taking Dandipur University students studying their courses, preparing for exam in the library. You go and interview students in the library, or you go and interview adolescents playing football in the field. This is convenient sampling. You took the participant because it is convenient. It is easy to access. So ease of access is the main criteria for this convenient sampling. So the result derived from this kind of sampling strategy is invalid or lack validity and reliability. So you took, for instance, these samples from Dandipur University because it is close by, or are not different than other college students. Practically, they may be different. ለምሳሌ አንድ መምህር አንድ ሪሰርቸር አጠቃላይ ዩኒቨርሲቲዎችን ይወክላል ብሎ ከአንድ ኮሌጅ ያሉትን ተማሪዎች ቢያጠና እነዚህ ከዳንዲቦር የሚማሩ ተማሪዎች ወይም ከሌላ የግል ኮሌጅ የሚማሩ ተማሪዎች አዲስ አበባ ዩኒቨርሲቲ፣ ጅማ ዩኒቨርሲቲ፣ አሶሳ ዩኒቨርሲቲ ያሉትን ተማሪዎች አይወክሉም። ለምሳሌ የጥናት ልምዳቸው፣ የማንበብ ልምዳቸው፣ በሰብጀክቱ ላይ ያለው እውቀታቸው አይገናኝም። ኤጃቸው So the obvious limitation of this convenient sampling is that it may not be representative of the population, as I said. So a group of, for instance, college students who attend this Dandiboru are different than those who attend Asosa University. Differences could be due to age, prior study habits, socio-economic status, familiarity with the subject, or discipline. This method is quick and cheap, and we do not have, but we do not know this representative. The representativeness of the data derived from this kind of sampling strategy, this convenient sampling, is questionable. So does its reliability and validity. There are times when average person uses convenient sampling. For instance, a food critic may try several appetizers to judge the quality and variety of this menu. ለምሳሌ እንደዚህ ነው እንደዚያ ነው እንላለን። ወንዶች እንደዚህ ናቸው፣ ግን ወንዶችን ሁሉንም አይተን አይደለም። ወይም ሲምፕል ራንደም ሳምፕሊንግ ተጠቅመን ወንዶችን አይተን ሳይሆን ወንዶች እኮ እንደዚህ ናቸው፣ ሴቶች እኮ እንደዚህ ናቸው እንላለን። So this kind of judgment is also this the use of this component sampling in everyday life. Another scenario that shows the use of haphazard sampling or convenient sampling in everyday life is television reporters, for instance, interviewing people on the street about their product quality, for instance. Ethiopian television journalists asking people on the street, the passerbys, about the quality of Coca-Cola. This is convenient sampling. Although useful applications of the technique are limited, it may deliver accurate results when the population is homogeneous. ሆሞጂኒየስ ከሆነ ግን ሊጠቅመን ይችላል። ለምሳሌ ሳይንቲስቶች ስለ ሌክ ወይም ስለ ሀይቅ የሚያጠኑ ከሆነ ወይም ስለ አንድ ባህር የሚያጠኑ ከሆነ ያንን ሀይቅ ወይም ያንን ሌክ ከአንድ ቦታ ላይ መውሰድ ብቻ በቂያቸው። ምክንያቱም ሀይቁ ተመሳሳይ ስለሆነ ሚክስድ ስለሚሆን ከአንድ ቦታ የሚያገኙት ባክቴሪያ ወይም ቫይረስ ከሌላ ቦታ ከሚያገኙት ቫይረስ ወይም ባክቴሪያ አይለይም። ምክንያቱም ተመሳሳይ ሚክስ ስለሚሆን ማለት ነው። Because this lake is an example of a homogeneous target population. So scientists could use this method, this convenience method or haphazard method to determine whether a lake is polluted or not. A scientist could safely draw water anywhere on the lake without fretting about whether or not the sample is representative. ለምሳሌ ሳይንቲስት ከጣና ሐይቅ የፈለገው ቦታ ላይ ወስዶ ቦታ ላይ የተወሰነ ውሃ ሊወስድ ይችላል፣ የተወሰነ ሲሲ ውሃ ሊወስድ ይችላል ለኤክስፐሪመንት። ምክንያቱም የጣና ሐይቅ ላይ ወሰድኩታች ወሰድክ የሆነ ቦታ በእያንዳንዱ ኪሎ ሜትር ላይ መውሰድ የለበትም። Because this lake, Tana Lake, is assumed to be a homogeneous target population. The female, for another example is the female moviegoers sitting in the first row of a movie theater. The first 100 customers to enter a department store. The first 3 callers in a radio contest. These are some examples of these convenient samples. The second one is this volunteer sampling. Volunteer sampling occurs when people volunteer their service for the study. This is used in psychology experiments, in social psychology, in experimental psychology, in psychopharmacology, in physiological psychology, in different, for instance, the psychology of engineering, in psychopharmacology, psychologists use drug testing. So it would be, for instance, difficult in unethical to enlist random participants from general population. In that case, psychologists, especially experimental psychologists, developmental psychologists, use experimental approach to investigate psychological phenomena. For instance, the sample is taken from a group of volunteers. ፈቃደኛ የሆኑ ሰዎችን experimental psychology, clinical psychology, physiological psychology, psychology of engineering, forensic psychology ሲያጠኑ ሳይኮሎጂስት ምን ይወስዳሉ? ከተወሰኑ ሰዎችን ፍቃዳቸውን በመጠየቅ በፍቃደኝነት ላይ የተመሰረተ ጥናት ያካሂዳሉ። ይሄ volunteer sampling እንለዋለን። Sometimes the researcher offers payments to its respondents. አንዳንዴ ይከፍላል payment ይከፍላል study payment እንለዋለን study fee. In exchange, the volunteers accept the possibility of lengthy, demanding, or discomfort or unpleasant processes. ብር ስለሚከፈላቸው እነዚህ ሰዎች ምንም እንኳን ዲስኮምፈርት ቢሰማቸውም ፔን ቢሰማቸውም ባይመቻቸውም ጥናቱ ላይ ይካፈላሉ። ብር ይከፈላቸዋል። በዶላር ተከፍሏቸው በብዙ ዶላር ተከፍሏቸው ጥናት የሚያደርጉ ድርጅቶችም አሉ፣ ሰዎችም ፕሮፌሰሮችም አሉ። ለምሳሌ በኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ በጥናት በመሳተፍ ብቻ ብር የሚከፍሉ በዶላር የሚከፍሉ አሉ ማለት ነው አሉ ማለት ነው። እስከ ውጭ ሀገር ድረስ አሉ ማለት ነው። Sampling volunteer sampling voluntary participants or respondents as opposed to general population may introduce strong biases. Often in opinion polls, for instance, only people who care strongly enough about the subject one way or another tend to respond. ለምሳሌ ምርጫ ላይ ሊሆን ይችላል ወይም አመለካከታቸውን ለመረዳት ስንፈልግ የተወሰኑ ሰዎች ናቸው ፍላጎት ያላቸው ብቻ ናቸው እዛ ምርጫ ላይ የሚመጡት ምርጫ ላይ የሚመጡት ፍላጎት የሌላቸው ቤታቸው ላይ ተቀምጠዋል። ስለዚህ የሆነ ፓርቲ ያሸነፈ ማለት ብዙ ሰው አልመረጠውም፣ ግን ትንሽ ሰዎች መርጠውታል። መምረጥ የማይፈልጉት ግን ትንሽ ናቸው። መመረጥ የማይፈልጉት ሰዎች ስለመረጡት አሸነፈ እንላለን። ነገር ግን ፍላጎት ያላቸውና ለመምረጥ ፍላጎት ያላቸው ብቻ ናቸው እዛ ቦታ ላይ ሄደው የመረጡት። ብዙ ሰው አልመረጠም። So the silent majority, we call this silent majority. Those who do not go to the polling station are called silent majority. The silent majority does not typically respond, resulting in selection bias. ስለዚህ ፍላጎት ያላቸውን ብቻ ነው ይሄ ጥናት ያካተተው። An example is this television, radio, media often use call-in polls to informally query an audience on their views about some topic. ለምሳሌ በቴሌቪዥን ወይም በሬዲዮ በኢትዮጵያ ብዙ ጊዜ በሬዲዮ ስለዚህ ስለምትወዱት ሙዚቃ ተናገሩ፣ ስለ ፍቅራችሁ ስላጋጠማችሁ ፍቅር ተናገሩ፣ ፍቅር ምንድን ነው ምናምን የሚለው ላይ ጥያቄ ያነሳሉ። ብዙ ሰዎች ይደውላሉ፣ እየደወሉ እንዲህ ነው ገሌን አፍቅሬዋለሁ፣ ይሄንን ሙዚቃ ጋብዙልኝ ምናምን ይላል። አንዳንድ ሰዎች ይህንንም ለጥናት ይጠቀሙበታል፣ ኦዲዮውን ወስደው ለጥናት ይጠቀሙበታል። ይህ ማለት ግን የሚደውሉ ሰዎች ፍላጎት ያላቸው ብቻ ናቸው፣ ወይም በፐርሰናሊቲያቸው እንኳን ብናይ ኤክስትራቨርቶች ናቸው ወይም ኤክስትሮቨርት የምንላቸው ናቸው። ከሰው ጋር የሚግባቡ ስሜታቸውን የሚያወጡ ብቻ ናቸው። ዝም የሚሉትን ይሄ ጥናት አላካተተም። ፐርሰናሊቲ ታይፕን ሳይኮሎጂስቶች ናቸው ታውቃላችሁ እናንተ የተለያየ አንዳንዶቹ ዝም ብሎ ቦግ ብሎ የሚያወሩ አሉ፣ አንዳንዶቹ ዝምተኞች አሉ፣ አንዳንዶቹ ተናዳጆች አሉ። ስለዚህ እነዚህ ዝምተኞቹን እና መናገር የማይፈልጉትን ይሄ ጥናት አላካተተም። ይሄ በሬዲዮ ወይ በቴሌቪዥን የሚካሄደው ጥናት ሌሎቹ ዝም ያሉት ናቸው። ግን የሚደውሉት አንድ ሰው ብዙ ጊዜም ሊደውል ይችላል። የሚደውሉትም የተወሰነ ፐርሰናሊቲ ተመሳሳይ ፐርሰናሊቲ ያላቸው ናቸው። ኤክስትሮቨርት የሆነ ፐርሰናሊቲ ያላቸው ናቸው ወይም ኤክስትራቨርት ፐርሰናሊቲ ያላቸው ናቸው። The program asks viewers to cast a vote for one of two music videos by telephone, email, or through their online website. This, for instance, no limit imposed on the frequency or number of calls. One participant can call, for instance, many times, multiple times. And so, ለብዙ ጊዜ ሊደውል ይችላል. And the people who contribute to this service may have different views than those who do not. So the third one is judgment sampling. The researcher selects the sample based on judgment. This is usually an extension of confidence sampling. This approach is used when a sample is taken based on certain judgments about the overall population. ብዙ ጊዜ ይሄ ሪሰርቸሮች ፕሮፌሰሮች ናቸው የሚጠቀሙት ከኦብጀክቲቫቸው ከሪሰርች ኦብጀክቲቫቸው ከሪሰርች ሃይፖቴሲሳቸው ከሪሰርች ወርኪንግ ሃይፖቴሲሳቸው ከሪሰርች ኮስችናቸው ጋር ያንን መሰረት ባደረገ መልኩ የተወሰኑ ሰዎችን ያጠናል። ለምሳሌ አንድ ሰው ስለ ባር ሌዲ ቢያጠና ባር ሌዲዎችን ነው የሚያጠናው ግዴታ። ስለዚህ ጀጅመንት ሳምፕሊንግ ነው። ስለ ተወሰኑ ሰዎች ሊያጠና ይችላል፣ ስለ ማፊያዎች፣ ስለ ዱርዬዎች ሊያጠና ይችላል። ይሄ ጀጅመንት ሳምፕሊንግ ነው። So the objective of the study or the research question of the study or the working hypothesis of the study guides which participants going to be included in the study. We call this judgment sampling or purposive sampling. Professors, psychology professors use this judgment sampling. For instance, psychology professors may take secondary psychology students to make an experiment, to conduct an experiment on prosocial behavior or aggressive behavior. A judgment sampling is subject to the researcher's bias and is perhaps even more biased than haphazard sampling. Since any preconceptions or presumptions the researcher may have are reflected in the sample, large biases can be introduced if these preconceptions are inaccurate. So the researcher, the experimenter may hold presumptions or misconceptions on his shoulder to the research field, and this may pollute the validity and reliability of the data drawn from such kind of studies or studies using this uh, kind of sampling strategy. So statisticians often use this method in exploratory studies. This judgment sampling or purposive sampling is used by psychologists to test their questionnaire, their inventories, their focus group guides. One advantage of judgment sampling is reduced costs and time involved in acquiring the sample. The fourth one is quota sampling. So quota sampling is the similar to this stratified sampling. The main difference between quota sampling and stratified sampling is that stratified sampling uses this simple random sample, or it uses sampling frame. And it may go, for instance, you through the process of random number generation using Excels or SPSS. So the sample will contain people who meet certain criteria, for instance, age, social group, or gender. A classification of age, for instance, children, adolescents, early adulthood or early adult individuals, middle adult individuals, late adult individuals, elders, males, females, in the case of gender, social group, for instance. How many participants or students could I take from the Oromo ethnic group, from the Tigrayan ethnic groups, from the Amhara ethnic group? On social group ስንል ከትግሬ ምን ያህል ነው፣ ከጋሞ ምን ያህል ነው፣ ከኦሮሞ ይሄን ያህል ነው፣ ከዚህ ይሄን ያህል ነው፣ ምን ያህል መሆን አለበት? This is based on the quota, the quota. So splitting the sample into age is a popular way to apply quota sampling. So the quota sampling is, for instance, ቅድም እንደነገርኳችሁ ሶሻል ግሩፕ የሚለው ምንድነው የሚያሳየው? ኤትኒክ ግሩፕ የሚለው ነው። ለምሳሌ አማራ፣ ትግሬ፣ ኦሮሞ እንል ከኦሮሞ ምን ያህል ነው መውሰድ ያለበት? ከትግሬ ይሄን ያህል ነው። ከትግሬ ምን ያህል ነው? ትግሬዎች አሁን በቁጥር ትንሽ ናቸዋል። ከእነሱ ምን ያህል ነው መውሰድ ያለበት? ከኦሮሞስ? So the researcher must think the proportionality of the sub-quota, the quota, each quota drawn from these social groups, social categories or ethnic groups. So splitting the sample into ages a particular or a popular way to apply quota sampling. The researcher will be asked to interview a set number or quota of people from different age groups. ለምሳሌ ከ16 እስከ 25 adolescents aged from 16 to 25, 25 to 40, 40 to 55, 55 and above. This classification 1, 2, 3, 4 classification. And you assign your sample from the population based on your proportion. ለምሳሌ ከ16 እስከ 25 ላሉት ስንት መውሰድ አለብኝ? ከ25 እስከ 40 እድሜ ውስጥ ላሉት ስንት መውሰድ አለብኝ? ከ40 እስከ 55 ያሉት ስንት መውሰድ አለብኝ? ከ55 በላይ ላሉት ስንት መውሰድ አለብኝ የሚለውን ሪሰርቸሩ ማሰብ አለበት ማለት ነው። እንደ ብዛታችን ለምሳሌ ከ25 እስከ 40 ብዙ ሰው ካለ በዚህ በአሶሳ ዩኒቨርሲቲ ውስጥ ያ ወደ 60% ሊያደርገው ይችላል ሪሰርቸሩ። ከ16 እስከ 25 ደግሞ ትንሽ ወጣቶች ትንሽ ከሆኑ እነሱን ደግሞ 10% ያደርገዋል ማለት ነው። This is called quota sampling. The main difference, as I have said, as I have discussed, the main difference between quota sampling and stratified sampling is stratified sampling uses simple random sample strategies. It is the quota sampling is a non-probability equivalent of stratified sampling, as I have discussed it. Like stratified sampling, the researcher first identifies the stratums and their proportions as they are represented in the population. Then convenience or judgment sampling is used to select the required number of subjects from each strata. An example is, if there are 100 men and 100 women in a population and a sample of 20 are to be drawn to participate in cola test challenge, you may want to divide the sample evenly between sexes, 10 men and 10 women. So the researcher, the psychologist selects 10 men from 100 men, 10 women from 100 women. But this selection is not based on simple random sampling in the sense of that stratified sample. So we say that this kind of sampling, quota sampling, this kind of quota sampling results in selection bias. ምክንያቱም እነዚህ ከአስር እንግዲህ ከመቶ ወንድና ከመቶ ሴቶች አስሩን ወንዶች ከመቶ ወንዶች መረጡ፣ አስሩን ሴቶች ደግሞ ከመቶ ሴቶች መረጡ። ግን አስሩ ሴቶች የመቶ ሴቶችን ይወክላሉ ወይ የሚለውን አናውቅም። ምክንያቱም ሲምፕል ራንደም ሳምፕሊንግ አይደለም የተጠቀምነው፣ ኮታ ነው የተጠቀምነው። ግን ፕሮፖርሽኑን ልንጠቀም እንችላለን። አስሎንግ አስ ሲምፕል ራንደም ሳምፕሊንግ ካልተጠቀምን በስተቀር እነዚህ አስሩ ሴቶች መቶ ሴቶችን ወይም አስሩ ወንዶች መቶ ሴቶችን ይወክላሉ ማለት አይደለም። The fifth one is snowball sampling. This snowball sampling is a special and probability sampling method used when desired sample characteristic is rare. Rare ስንል ምንም የማይገኝ ወይም ትንሽ የሆነ በፍለጋ የማናገኘው በመነጽር የማናገኘው እንደማለት ነው። So snowball sampling relies on referrals from initial subjects to generate additional subjects. ለምሳሌ አበበ አንድ ብዙ ጊዜ የምንጠቀመው ለሽፍታዎች፣ ድራግ ዲለሮች ወይም ማሪዋና ለሚሸጡ ለሸፊዎችም እንጠቀምበታለን። አንዱን ሰው እናገኝና ያንን እንግባባዋለን፣ በገንዘብ እንይዘዋለን። ሌላ ሰው እሱ እንዲ ሪፈር እንዲያደርገን ወይም እንዲመራን እንላለን፣ እንነግረዋለን። ሌላ ሰው ይመጣል። ሌላው ሰው አሁንም ሌላ ሰው ይመጣል። አበበ ለምሳሌ ከበደ ሊያመጣ ይችላል። ከበደ ደግሞ ጫላን ያመጣል። ጫላ ደግሞ ጫሊቱን ታመጣለች። ጫሊቱ ደግሞ ከበደችን ታመጣለች። እንዲህ እያልን ሳምፕላችንን ቢውልድ እናደርጋለን። ምክንያቱም እነዛን ሰዎች አናገኛቸውም ዝም ብለን፣ ምክንያቱም ውድ የሆኑ ሳምፕሎች ናቸው እነዚህ ሳምፕሎች። So these are hard to read samples, hard to reach and hard to read samples. So this snowball sampling reduces the likelihood that the sample will represent a good cross-section from the population. A snowball sample is achieved by asking participants to suggest someone else who might be willing or appropriate for the study. Snowball samples are particularly useful in hard-to-track populations, such as truants, drugs, or drug dealers, etc. Hard-to-track populations. ለማግኘት የማንችላቸው ናቸው። ወንጀለኞች፣ ሌቦች፣ ሽፍታዎች እነዚህን ኑና ሪሰርች ስራባችሁ ብትላቸው ፖሊስ ሊያስይዘኝ ነው ብለው አይመጡም። ስለዚህ እነዚህን አንድን ሰው እንይዛለን፣ በዛ እነዛን አንዱ ደግሞ አንዱ እያለ ልክ እንደ ትሪ ኢንቨርትድ ትሪ የተገለበጠ ዛፍን አስባችሁ ልክ እንደዛ ነው የምንጠቀመው ማለት ነው። Thank you for your attention. In the next session, I'll prepare for you tests. These tests based on Bloom's taxonomy for this research method, for social psychology, for child psychology. Okay.